How could anyone escape this fireball of death?
Okay, we have a bad accident. My car blew up with 2 kids.
Plumes of toxic black smoke and flames lick the September sky.
I've got 2 significant leg injuries that are chewed up pretty good, okay?
A terrified father begs for help.
Deep tissue wounds. They are bleeding. I need someone here now.
Is it an accident or an explosion fueled by evil?
There was a hole, and you could see the starburst pattern. What it reminded me of was pictures of what the IEDs look like, Iraq, Middle East, etc.
But Eric Chappell wasn't driving in a war zone. He was driving his sons Grant and Cole to afternoon football practice in their sleepy hometown of Monroe, Michigan.
I just remember laying on the side of the road, watching the car burn, watching the gas tank explode, just laying down there, looking at my dad and my brother.
Those moments were like what for you?
Out of this world.
Cole's older brother Grant still replays the horror.
I see stars, just completely disoriented. It was like a flash grenade or something. I can't really process what's going on because I just keep on telling myself I'm gonna wake up at football practice. It's just like a bad dream. I must have taken a nap during the car ride or something.
The powerful blast rocketed their sturdy Volvo station wagon like a Formula One race car down the highway and then burst into flames. The hero dad had to act fast to save his kids from being burned alive.
They were screaming, they were in a lot of pain. And at that point, I just started to scream at the boys to, get out of the car, get out of the car, and get out of the car.
Grant and Cole crawl to the side of the road. All that remains of the family station wagon is a steel skeleton.
I know my dad had to carry me to the side of the road because I couldn't walk. He made a tourniquet out of my football belt to stop the bleeding.
I remember seeing the blood. Cole's leg was pretty well chewed up.
How close did you and your family, you and your boys, come to dying?
Milliseconds.
A shaken Eric phones his wife, Maureen Terrell, who was at another sporting event with the couple's 2 other kids, Erica and Emma.
As a parent, you want to be there when your children are hurt.
Maureen rushed to the hospital. Eric and the boys had cheated death all right, but their injuries were severe. Grant, who was the front seat passenger, had deep wounds to his buttocks. And Cole, who was sitting in the back passenger seat, had his left leg embedded with shrapnel. Eric suffered deep gashes in his arm and face.
So you've got kids in multiple rooms, so you're running from room to room, and who's going into surgery first?
Investigators comb the car for clues. Then they bring in a bomb-sniffing dog, and bam! The dog sniffs out a shocker. A homemade bomb had actually been planted under the car.
Your first reaction, your first thought?
A bomb. What do you mean a bomb?
A bomb so powerful, the blast could be heard a mile away. And cops say it was intended not just to maim, but to kill.
All right, so this is what?
This is what the size, the length, the width, everything we think is the actual pipe, not the actual, but a good detail of what was used.
The mad bomber had stuffed the metal pipe with ball bearings, as well as ammo for maximum damage.
So this goes all the way, this
goes through,
piece here goes all the way through.
Goes through smokeless powder inside along with the shrapnel.
And this is how the bomb was triggered, using this toy car's remote control.
Remote control vehicles like this.
What we think is they used these cars or parts from these trucks. That's exactly what we think they used.
Cops believe the triggerman may have been tailing Chappell's car when the bomb was detonated. Thankfully, the Volvo had a sunroof, and experts believe that was the difference between life and death.
Having a sunroof made all the difference in the world.
Why?
Because it vented the explosion. They indicated to us that had we not had a sunroof, we wouldn't be here today.
Who would do this? I said, I cannot think of anyone that would have that evilness inside them to hurt children.
I think the target was me, but I have no doubt that the person who detonated the bomb knew the boys were in the car.
Eric Chappell prides himself as a good lawyer, but he's made some enemies along the way. His practice has handled some bitter divorce cases, one that actually involved accusations of a husband videotaping his stepdaughters and their friends in tanning beds. Eric represented the now ex-wife.
The device was pointed right at the tanning beds. I think that's when she finally said, enough.
That man Eric calls a bitter ex has never been charged or listed as a suspect in connection with the car bombing. In fact, no one has. Despite that, Eric says he's sure he knows who did it, and he's ready to name names.
The guy's a monster.
Eric believes that monster is still taunting him and his family. On an anniversary of the car bombing, Chappell's daughters Erica and Emma became targets of a second bomb.
I walked with her to the mailbox. As soon as she pulled it out, you see it rolling. You have a basic idea of what explosives look like, but when I looked at it closer, you could see the words.
They claim some sicko planted it in their mailbox, the word explosive written across it.
She dropped it. I made sure she was on the other side of the road. I called my dad within like 10 minutes. Fire trucks, police, ambulance, bomb squad, everybody was there.
Thankfully, this one was unarmed.
What I understand it was a commercial explosive device. It wasn't armed, it didn't have a detonator on it, no fuse or what have you, but someone had placed that in the mailbox.
No one has ever been charged for planting the unarmed bomb either. The Chappell girls were shaken, but they want the person who tried to mail them a piece of hell to know they're survivors too.
I say, look how strong and amazing our family has grown. There is nothing you can do that would ever change that.
We're stronger, we're better than yesterday, better when that happened. We've learned from our mistakes. We're living life now. We're not afraid.
Shockingly, in the 5 years since the car bomb explosion changed the course of the Chappell's lives forever, the feds still don't have a prime suspect.
Well, sadness comes to mind because we have not been able to solve it.
Even though Eric says he knows who did this, cops aren't naming a suspect, and neither can we. In fact, ATF Special Agent Dawkins admits the case is running out of gas.
I was very confident that we would be able to solve that, this incident within a couple of months, within a couple of weeks. We've not been able to do it, obviously, and it's very frustrating for us.
And he's reaching out to the public for help.
We need a video, we need someone talking, we need that one shred that could connect. Hey, we thought it was that person. Now we have the link to it. Right now we don't have the link.
Cole and Grant were badly injured in the blast, but they're back on their feet and back to playing sports.
I would just want them to see me and my family, see that we're still here.
Still strong and still standing.
Yeah.
And Grant has turned the ordeal into something else positive. He's going to medical school to be a trauma surgeon.
You know what they say about terrorist attacks, like you can't let this change the way we live. Say, nice try, we're still all here.
But Mom Maureen says she'll always be looking over her shoulder.
I lived in this perfect little bubble and everybody loved each other and life was grand and no one would ever hurt anyone.
This is your new normal.
Yes.
I think he's a despicable person. I don't think that he has much use walking this earth. It's one thing to focus on me, but the type of person who would do something to hurt kids, they don't have a place in our society.